to the BMAC channel. I am Brandy, and I'm here to share just a mindful moment with you. And today's topic is going to be the blueprint of love. And so I don't have that much time. I got 15 minutes or less to get this message to you. So let's jump right into it. And so first I want to start with a story about my husband. Last year he celebrated his 50th birthday. And I had a surprise, not a surprise, but the people were surprised. But we had a party for him, and family and friends and our loved ones, they came, sacrificed, and actually was able to, all those that were able to came, and we celebrated his 50th birthday. And during that time, he gave a speech, and he said, I want to say it just like he said it. He said, I love you all because I have to, but I like y'all. And so that's exactly what he said to all the families and friends. And, everybody kind of chuckled and laughed. But when I thought about it, I said, that's a good message. I said, because we are called to love, but some people we actually can like. And so let's get right into Bible. I'm going to go to scriptures, Matthew chapter 22, and I'm going to start at verse 37. All right. And so as you are getting that together, as we're getting all of that together, I'm grabbing it on my phone. I want to give you a backstory. The backstory to what's going on. We got Jesus talking, and he's talking to, I'm going to say religious leaders, right? The scribes, Pharisees, but religious folks. That's who he's talking to. And they're trying to, all this time, they're trying to trap Jesus. Now, I know a lot of you, may know some petty people in your life. I got a sister that's petty. But ain't nobody petty like Jesus. Like Jesus be getting at you. If you don't believe it, I'm telling you, read the book of Matthew in your own time, right? And you'll see how Jesus be getting at them religious folks. But listen, I'm going to go ahead and read it. And I'm going to read it from the English Standard Version. And so I'm going to start actually at verse 36. I'm going to go up one, because these are the religious leaders talking. They said, "Teacher, which is the great commandment in the law?" And he said to them, now this is Jesus answering that question, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment." Verse 39. "And the second is like it. You should love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets." And so here we got Jesus giving, him a summation of all of the commandments. And all it is all centered around LOVE. They're both centered around LOVE. So as you know, there's some other commandments. We got the 10 commandments. God gave hundreds and hundreds of commandments of things that we need to do. But hey, to cut it all short, he know our attention span is short and we can't do all of that. If we follow those two, it's going to cover all of those that were written. Because see, if I love God or I'm loving my neighbor like myself, I'm not going to kill no one because I don't want nobody to kill me. I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to be committing adultery because guess what? I don't want those things to happen to me. And so all those commandments, don't be jealous. Don't be envious. All those things, I don't want it done to me. I don't want to feel that way. So if we can think like that, listen, my husband was on to something. We have to love one another. We have to. That's a commandment. We ought to love all of God's people, not just God, but his people as well. And so make sure you get that and you understand that. And I love how God, he put him first. You have to love your God. It says with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. That means that when things come my way, I can't hold and harbor anger and hurt and bitter and malice in my heart. Guess why? Because it says to love God. That means that God is within and dwelling within my heart. God don't want to be in your heart and you got hatred in there. You got envy in there. You got jealousy in there. Because that's why we have to give it and surrender it over to God. We have to. And I'm talking about even when you get to the part that talks about people that have misused you and abused you. Now, I'm not saying it could be easy always, because sometimes life situations, sometimes it could be difficult, and it just not just get over it. You have to go to God and you have to repent, because God wants you to live within. He wants to live within your heart. He wants you to, he says, that's what he wants. That's the commandment, to love God with all your heart. And if we got all this junk and hatred in there, how are we loving God? How are we following just one of those commandments, right? And so make sure that to get our mental right, to get things together mentally, make sure that we release that thing, the hurt, the pain. I'm talking about all those things that have happened in your life. You have to release it, because we are called to love everyone. All right. And so I want to make sure you see it, make sure you get that. And then when it comes to the love your neighbor as yourself, I want to share something with you about that, because what I thought about is, if I have to love my neighbor like myself, first of all, I got to love myself. And in some areas, we struggle with that. At times we struggle with that. We have to learn and know how first to love ourselves before we begin to show that to others. Because if you don't know how to love yourself, that means you don't know how to love others. Because God, it says it. The commandment says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Well, if I'm lost and I'm confused and not knowing how to love myself and forgive myself and all those things, then I can't extend that same compassion to others. So you got to make sure that you love yourself in order to do that. Another piece that really resonated with me, because when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, God, I got to love my neighbor like myself. And some of us have been hurt in situations like this, or we felt like we were hurt or done wrong, because we're always giving, and sometimes we feel like we're not receiving. It seems like some relationships seem like they're one-sided. And so I want to share with you and tell you, sometimes, not all the times, it's one-sided. Maybe they are giving love to you or showing love to you in the way that they like it. So let me give you an example. Let me try to break this down just a little bit more. So let's think about this. We have love languages, right? Some people, it's 5 of them. I know mine personally is gifts. I love gifts. It doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, it makes me feel like you thought about me. I like to feel like I've been thought about. Like, oh, it could be $1. See, a paper clip that's pink with a cross on it. Like, oh, Brady would love this. I would. Like, and so it doesn't have to be something expensive, but I love the fact that someone thought about me. I appreciate that. So in turn, sometimes I give that out to others. Like, oh, here go a gift. Here goes something. Well, if I'm giving in the way I want to be loved, because this is the way that I love, that doesn't mean that you're receiving it that way. See, if your love language is quality time, you may just want, hey, sis, I need you just to come over and hang out, just spend some time with me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I thought you was busy. I thought you was, because this is how I think. Oh, I thought you had this going on and that going on. I didn't know you want me to come spend time with you. Because this is how I think. And so I automatically think that's how everybody else thinks and feels. But some people, that's their love language. Show me that you care about me by coming and spend some time with me. And so I deal with that. That is a struggle for me, because I'm constantly like, oh, do I need to send words of affirmation? Like, or not just saying that, but maybe I need to send this text to these people so they can know that, hey, I'm praying for you and this and this and that. When in theory, I'm doing everything I'm saying I'm doing, but in my mind, like, do I really got to send her a text? Do I really have to go that far? Because in my mind, because I don't feel like I need that, then they don't need it. But we have to be able to think. Sometimes people are giving love in a different way. So hopefully you can recognize this just a little bit more, that maybe they're giving you love in a different direction than the way you're giving it. So have some compassion for people. Have some grace for them. Like it could possibly be that they're loving you in a different way. All right. And so I thought about that. I thought about also when it comes to this love and this blueprint of what love looks like, because I've given you the description that God tells us that we got to do. We got to love our neighbors, right? And so I think another issue that we struggle with as a society is the love versus the like. Now, look, this diagram always comes to my mind because in theory, this is how it should be. We must love everyone around us. That's the command. It's a sacrifice. It don't always feel good, but we gotta do it. We have to love. We have to get to the point where we love everyone. Even the ones that hurt you, abused you, even the ones that didn't mean you any good, we must love them. We gotta get there, people. We gotta get there. But then there's also this other section of like. Now, when you think about the people that I like, because see, there's a difference. You got to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody. I don't believe that. I mean, or some people you like, right? And so think about it. We think about, how do you know who you like? These are people that you have, that you share intimate times with, your personal space with them, special moments. Even sometimes things that turn into secrets. These are times when this happens. And you may say, are you being serious? I am. If we follow Jesus' footprints, his blueprint, I believe Jesus had some disciples that he liked. Now, he loved them all, but he liked a group. It was a group that they call his inner circle that he spent more time with. We know it was Peter, James, and John. It was several times where just them four went to different places. And when I say keep secrets, remember when Jesus transformed right in front of them, and he told them, "Hey, keep this between us. You can't spill the beans on this yet." That actually happened. So it's okay for you to like a certain group of people. These are people that I can share my personal space with. That is a good thing. It doesn't mean that you don't love everybody else. See, we get that confused sometimes. I love everybody, but that doesn't mean I gotta have you in my circle to where I like you. It's a tad bit different. It's a tad bit different because now, we got similarities. We got something in common. Like we can kick it. You know what I mean? And so it's a little bit of difference, and it is okay. It's okay to like a certain group because Jesus did it. He took his inner circle, in my mind, the people he liked, to the certain places, certain intimate spots that he wanted and needed them to be. And so be okay with that. Be okay. And so my time is almost up, and I promise you, it gotta be 15 minutes or less. And so what I want to do, and I want to make sure you get it on today, is to make sure that you understand, one, that this is a commandment. We must love everybody. We got to make sure that we clean up this heart, because in order for us to love God with all our heart, look, I ain't even got to my soul and my mind. We got to make sure we clean some of those things up. So make sure that you do that. You got to love everybody. Matter of fact, I want you to tag someone. Tag someone that you love, tag somebody, and share this with somebody that you like. Listen, when you get to the comments, I need you to go to the comments, because listen, I love each and every one of you. So I need you to go in that comment and tell me, hey, I love you too, BMAC. I love you too, Brandy. I want to see all the love on this post, because that's what this is all about. We must show love. We must be love. We must love everyone. And we have to. And so let me just tell you, part 2 of this blueprint of love is coming soon. Now that blueprint, this one was all just the basics. Like I said earlier, it gives the commandment. My bad. Let me get it together. It gives us the commandment that Jesus gave us. It's only 2 of them now. Like we got to just follow these 2. And we got to do those. And then I wanted to break down that love and like and the difference. And it's okay to have a little bit of separation, because you got to in order to maintain this mental, really. And so, and then the next blueprint, you got to tune in. You got to be looking for it. I'm going to focus more now on relationship, right? I want to give you the blueprint in 15 minutes or less of how love works within a relationship. So hey, you guys be blessed. I want you to be bold and be you. Be the best version of you that you can be. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with someone you like. You